First Nocturne. Lesson from the first letter of St. Paul the Apostle to the Corinthians. If I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass, or a tinkling cymbal. And if I should have prophecy, and should know all mysteries, and all knowledge, and if I should have all faith, so that I could remove mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing. And if I should distribute all my goods to feed the poor, and if I should deliver my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. Charity is patient, is kind. Charity envieth not, dealeth not perversely, is not puffed up, is not ambitious, seeketh not her own, is not provoked to anger, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth with the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never falleth away, whether prophecies shall be made void, or tongues shall cease, or knowledge shall be destroyed. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away the things of a child. We see now through a glass in a dark manner, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know even as I am known. And now there remain faith, hope, and charity, these three. But the greatest of these is charity. Second Nocturne. This Marcellus was a Roman, and held the supreme pontificate from the year of our Lord 304, in the reign of Constantius and Galerius, till 310, in that of Maxentius. It was through his persuasion that the Roman lady Lucina left the whole of her property to the Church of God. As the believers increased, he instituted new titles in the city, which he divided after the manner of dioceses for their convenience, and for the baptism and penance of heathens converted to Christianity, and for the burial of the martyrs. These proceedings excited the wrath of Maxentius, who threatened Marcellus with the heaviest punishment, unless he would lay down the popedom and sacrifice to idols. The servant of God treated with contempt the mad cries of this man, who accordingly took him and sent him to a menagerie, to take care of the beasts which were fed at the public cost. Marcellus remained at this place for 9 months, which he spent in continual fasting and prayer, and, as he could not visit the parishes in person, he wrote letters to them. Some clerks rescued him, and the blessed Lucina hospitably received him into her house, in which he dedicated a church, which is now called St. Marcellus. Here the Christians met to pray, and the blessed Marcellus himself preached. These proceedings came to the knowledge of Maxentius, who thereupon had the wild beasts brought from the menagerie and located in the church, where Marcellus was made to feed them. The noisomeness of the place and the filthiness of his occupation broke down a constitution already enfeebled by many ailments, and he fell asleep in the Lord. The blessed Lucina buried his body in the cemetery of Priscilla, on the Salarian Way, on the 16th of January. He sat on the throne of Peter for 5 years, 1 month, and 25 days. He wrote an epistle to the bishops of the Patriarchate of Antioch on the primacy of the Roman Church, wherein he proveth the right of the same church to be called the head of all the churches. In this letter he likewise saith that no council can be lawfully gathered together except by the authority of the Roman pontiff. He ordained at Rome in the month of December 25 priests, 2 deacons, and 21 bishops for diverse sees. Third Nocturne. From the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. At that time, when Jesus came into the coasts of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, Whom do men say that I the Son of Man am? But they said, Some John the Baptist, and others some Elias, and others Jeremias, or one of the prophets. Jesus saith to them, But whom do you say that I am? Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answering, said to him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, because flesh and blood hath not revealed it to thee, but my Father who is in heaven. And I say to thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give to thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind upon earth, it shall be bound also in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose upon earth, it shall be loosed also in heaven. Laus tibi, Christa. A homily by Saint Leo the Pope. When the Lord, as we read in the Gospel, asked his disciples who did men, amid their diverse speculations, believe him the Son of Man to be, blessed Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And the Lord answered and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, For flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say also unto thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. But the dispensation of truth perdures. And blessed Peter, persevering in the strength of the rock which he hath received, hath not relinquished the position he assumed at the helm of the church. In the universal church it is as if Peter were still saying every day, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. For every tongue which confesseth the Lord is taught that confession by the teaching of Peter. This is the faith that overcometh the devil and looseth the bonds of his prisoners. This is the faith which mocketh men free of the world and bringeth them to heaven, and the gates of hell are impotent to prevail against it. This is the rock which God hath fortified with such ramparts of salvation, that the contagion of heresy will never be able to infect it, nor idolatry and unbelief to overcome it. And therefore, dearly beloved, we celebrate today's festival with reasonable obedience, that in my humble person he may be acknowledged and honored who doth continue to care for all the shepherds as well as sheep entrusted unto him, and who doth lose none of his dignity even in an unworthy successor. When, therefore, we address our exhortations to your godly ears, believe ye that ye are hearing him speak whose office we are discharging. Yea, it is with his love for you that we warn you. And we preach unto you no other thing than that which he taught, entreating you as did he, Gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, be ye holy in all manner of living, pass the time of your sojourning here in the fear of God. My disciples, dearly beloved, ye are to me as the disciples of the Apostle Paul were to him, namely, my crown and joy, if so be that your faith abide still in all lowliness and holiness, like unto the first times of the gospel. For although the whole church, which is in all the world, should indeed abound in all the virtues, it becometh especially you among all others to excel in acts of piety, founded as ye be on the very citadel of the apostolic rock ye, who have not only been redeemed with the rest of men by our Lord Jesus Christ, but who have been instructed by the blessed Apostle Peter far beyond all others.